Parnham House, or Parnham Park as we call it, is located in Dorset, and it's like entering another world. My wife and I first came here from Parnham Park. We fell in love for the first time, the outside, the landscape before the house, because it had been in a devastating fire. It's a most wonderful, special house that dates back over 600 years. When you see a house in need, you feel like you want to save it and bring it back, because much like my cabinet of curiosities inside, the building itself is a lost treasure otherwise. Wouldn't it be a shame if this was just a carbon copy of Parnham Park, which was a John Soane house, so I had a big plaster collection. This particular case is very different. This is both natural history, but going back to the ancient. Other creatures were growing or swimming around in what is effectively land now. This was underwater. The Ichthyosaurus is something that from Jurassic time, we're talking 180 million years ago, was swimming like a dolphin in the sea. Isn't it mind-blowing that just 10 minutes from here is where one was found in 1700, and it just seemed right for that to be almost at the centrepiece of the collection. And like the woolly mammoth, just these wonderful bits of nature which almost in their own form, for me, take very artistic and beautiful shapes that seem to blend really well with my own created art pieces that I've put together, which are all about myth and fable and travel, and my grand tour, which is why behind us we have the moon painting, which is I'm synonymous with those, because it's that daydreaming about moving to another planet or travelling to outer space. That's kind of to make sense to me. We've also got paintings. I've got a painting collection of eccentric ancestors, and I imagined all these wonderful characters in their ball gowns going to masked balls, and I created these animal masks. That playful nature of the sort of thing you'd expect in the 18th century for a masked ball. I had this thing in my head as a child going to the Natural History Museum, seeing a woolly mammoth and a giraffe skeleton. Our one here, she's called the model, and she's got a taken inspired by the Christian Louboutin heels. And then we've got the rhino, which is a bronze rhino which sits on a wooden plaque which says SOS. So it's not a real rhino, of course. It's about highlighting the plight of these. And I did that as a collab with Based Upon, who's one of the artists that are in the sale. Got a few pieces, in particular one called Amma, which is one that actually takes you back to ancient times with this wonderful sound. At a time when we have so many sounds and noises and distractions, this is something where you can be able to meditate. One of my other favourite pieces in the house is this 80 million year old tarpon fish skeleton, which is 14 feet long. This would have been something that would have lived in the sea. It would have been a ferocious fish that would have gobbled up everything it could. And I just thought it was magical, alongside the woolly mammoth that is in its own right is such a magnificent specimen. Gives you this sense of almost how insignificant we are as a population and a being, but is something that definitely dazzles people when they come in our entrance hall. These are all pieces that fit in with the narrative that make the Parnham collection what it is, and this modern grand tour on the Jurassic Coast so special and unique. Hopefully you'll enjoy looking at some of our treasures.